Barakatay Howell, Barakatay Howell Shai, Barakatay Howell, Barakatay Howell Shai, Barakatay Howell, Barakatay Howell Shai, Call Halal, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Bahava Kakadash, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Kakadash, Barakatham. Double honor to our apostles who are elders who rule well. Blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. Another blessed salutation to innumerable multitude, the wheat that amongst tares, that are doing this truth sincerity. I would better say the innumerable multitude and also the wheat that are amongst tares. So with that being said, I wanted to get into this lesson. I was going over something with a brother within the camp, and we was just talking about 1 Corinthians. I forget what we was talking about exactly, but we ended up going into 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25. It says, "And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to attain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible." Okay? So when you go into the NLT of that, you'll get an interesting feedback, and it's not too interesting because the apostles have referenced this countless amount of times. Okay, it says all athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away, but we do it for an eternal prize. So in this reference, Paul is not dissing athletes. This is not a video of a defense of an athlete, but he's using them as an allegory in relationship to going hard in his truth. Okay? Because he said they go hard, but they do it for vain reasons. So he's saying, well, what is he saying? Well, we should go hard because the reason why we're going hard is eternal. So when you go into Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 15, it says, "For righteousness is immortal." And when you go to the etymology of the word immortal, is deathless, okay, imperishable, okay. And what did the Lord say? "Lay your treasures up in heaven where earth and moth and rust doth not corrupt." Okay, so we're supposed to be investing ourselves in righteousness, okay, in the will of the Heavenly Father, okay. Now, when you're going back to the reference of 1 Corinthians, let's see here, get it again. I'm actually going to get it in the blue letter real quick. So 1 Corinthians chapter 9. See here, I think it's 9 and 25. Yeah, 9 and 25. We're going to start at 24. Okay. So I can. So we're going to start at 9 and 24, okay? 1 Corinthians 9 and 24. We'll start at 23. It says, "And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you." Okay? "Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain." And we go into the NLT, it says, "Don't you realize that in a race everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So run to win." Right? So you come in this truth. We come in this truth. We have to do what? We have to run to win. Okay? It's not a competition, but you should be competitive. You should be trying to outdo yourself every day, trying to bring something to the table. It's a competition. And you're playing to win. You're playing for keeps. Okay? And it says, "And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate." Okay? And when you let's go to the word mastery. All right. It says the mastery to enter a contest, contend in a gymnastic games, to contend with adversaries, fight. Metaphor, to contend, struggle with difficulties and dangers. To endeavor with strenuous zeal, strive to obtain something. So when you're in this gospel, you're expected to go hard. what the Lord said, I'd rather you hot or cold, because you're lukewarm, he'll spew you out. What does it mean to be hot? To be on fire, to have zeal, but according to righteousness. Okay? It says, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. And then in NLT, it says, so I run with purpose in every step. I am not just shadow boxing. As the apostles always say, one that beateth the air. It's just shadow box. You're going to hit something. Like, I forget, what is it, Rocky? Stop trying to hit me and hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like, go out there, and it's going to take a lot of sacrifice. Because the whole point of this lesson I want to go into is when you're talking about athletes and performing in a very competitive environment, you're trying to be better than everybody, right? You're trying to be better than yourself. You're trying to be, it's not you got to undercut somebody, you got to belittle somebody, but people set a standard of performance. And you know what you're capable of. The Lord instills in us what we're capable of, what we should do. Just like he told Jeremiah to go and prophesy. And Jeremiah doubted himself and said, I'm too young. But the Lord knew what he was capable of because he created him. Okay? He created the times. Not only him, but he created the environment, the spirits, everything. Okay? So within that regard, Paul is saying, hey, man, you see how these athletes go hard? Go hard in this truth like these athletes do. And what entails that? You're going to lose family, right? What the Lord said, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, right? So you're going to lose family, you're going to lose friends, you're going to lose a lifestyle. Throughout the scriptures, he tells us of what? To put off the old man, the pride of life, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the heart, things of that nature. Tells us what? To be as pilgrims. Those that buy as though they, though that possess as though they bought not. Those that build as though they will not obtain. Going to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Going into 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. Okay? Meaning we're supposed to be locked in on this truth. Now, is it saying that we're not supposed to partake in these other things? As long as it's not against the scriptures, and long as it's not evil until your walk, it's totally fine. Some people are able to partake more than others, and it could be based off of discipline, based off of focus, based off of position. Like a younger brother got a little bit more liberty than a bishop or a high priest. They don't have the liberty to deal with, multiple women going vacations and recreation and be the family guy, and you can see by our apostles in the bulk of them how they react, man, and how they operate. It's not a coincidence, okay? They're locked in like that because the Lord put them in that position, and that's what that position requires, to be locked in, right? So if you're not performing, you got to evaluate. If we're not performing, we have to evaluate if we're locked in or not. And this is in a testament to myself when it's like, man, I know I should. I know I should be able to do this, do that, do this, but I'm underperforming. And then I go back and examine myself, which when you go into the word examine, it means to scrutinize. Nothing. The thing, I can see all the things that I could put to the side that I didn't. I can see all the time and energy towards things. And there's a saying that a man that lacks purpose seek comfort. Okay, because you can't go on airplane mode within this gospel, because it can get so normal to you to where you're performing, you can start thinking you like Mike Tyson. You can start drinking and smoking and not being disciplined, not being focused, partying, because you like, I could do this. Like he said, one fight, I ain't even trained. I trained like 2 weeks and came in here and did what and you start thinking it's normal, forgetting what the scriptures say. Those in prosperity, forgiveness of affliction, those in affliction, and the same thing with prosperity. So meaning Like when you're doing good, you don't forget where you came from. You don't forget how you had to sit there and watch videos, take notes, study, walk to the library, carry signs, you know what I'm saying? Be out there by yourself. Speaking of myself, you know what I'm saying? Carrying signs by myself, being out there by myself, being under threats and dangers and not knowing and being having a hunger to learn and doing everything I possibly can to obtain this information. Like today is my last day. You know what I'm saying? That's when that fire is fully ignited. You know what I'm saying? When you treating every moment like it's your last day, like I got to get this truth, I got to teach, I got to, everybody got to know. You know what I'm saying? Now, once you get control, that don't mean that you let off the gas with the fervency. You just get more wiser on how to operate. Okay? You start saying, okay, well, it ain't gonna happen like right now because prophecy's got to come to pass. But that don't mean like, oh, I got time, I can chill. No, man. You start relocating and going somewhere. Okay, if I got time, then that means I can prepare better. Let me go over here and prepare better. Let me go over there. And that's what athletes do. Like there's a story of Kobe Bryant when he said he went to team practice like 2 days. And then he said, well, what if I get up earlier? You know what I'm saying? That hour or 45 minutes is more time allocated over the years. That's like 2 weeks or 3 months of practice that I've gotten that they didn't get. Or however calculate that. But you get the point. You know what I'm saying? So continuing on, going to the next precept in line, it says in Matthews 24:37 says, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Right? So the Lord is telling us, like, not only is he gonna catch people by surprise, but he said he want to find you so doing. Okay? Right? Meaning we going to work, we going hard. Only time you can get caught working is when you're always working. You know what I'm saying? So it's very easy to get caught not working when you take a lot of breaks. The more breaks you take, the less you're going to be caught doing. You know what I'm saying? Now, does that mean you got to be prophesying as the Lord comes? No, it means that you got to be locked the fuck in. Because it's not like you got to go and do 3 days and it's hard and you don't got the time. The Lord provides all the opportunities for us to be the phenomenal spiritual athlete that he needs us to be. It's just that we choose the world as baggage to slow us down in the spirit. Right? And how can that reference be accurate? Going into 1 Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, the Lord said, or Paul said, I would rather you be as I. He's speaking out his own words, saying pretty much to be a eunuch so you can focus on the gospel. Meaning there's sacrifices. Now, the Lord didn't make you to be that way. That don't mean you have to be that way, right? Because in the same chapter, say if it's your thing to get a woman, you know what I'm saying? Don't resist that. Do it. Do what you do. But if you want to be maximally efficient, as in a Deadpool, which I'm gonna put it in a post-production, and I really like the term that he uses is maximum effort. You giving what you got in that moment to make the change that you need, okay? Because that's all you can give is what you have, all right? So we're going to go into 1 Peter chapter 4 and 3. It says, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, and excess of wine and reveling. Yeah, it was. So when we was in the world, we weren't athletes. We weren't top performers. We were sluggards. We were bug outs. We were regular pedestrians, right? Then the Lord drafted us, put us in a facility. We got the top-notch gym. We got teams. We got general managers. We got coaches. We got everything you could possibly need to be a phenomenal athlete, okay? So the Lord took us out all that rain, that reveling, that wine, and the access to lust, the partying, and all that, man. And says, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. So the reason why I bring that out is because, yeah, we got to perform as a top-notch athlete, but there's always going to be things trying to pull us back. You're going to have your woman, why you got to go out every Saturday? I got this appointment going on. I got that going on. Oh, your child got this going on. You know what I'm saying? I deal with these type of things every day, and I know brothers do also, man. You have afflictions, sicknesses. You have worries. You got debt. You got Babylon on your back. You got, all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the scriptures say. Enjoy. It's better to be pretty much being the truth and then enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, man. To sit there and say, oh man, well, let me just chill out today. We'll chill out. And when we gonna live forever? Why? We're gonna live forever in the kingdom of heaven, bro. We'll have all the fucking time to fuck off then. You know what I'm saying? Not saying we're gonna fuck off, but you get what I'm saying. We're gonna have all the time to let me just chill. And we're gonna have the perfect environment. What did the Lord say? Come out of her, my people, for this place shall destroy you with a sword of destruction. It is polluted, man. Well, what it says, matter of fact, let me get it on one. So when you go into Micah chapter 2 and 10, what it tells you, it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction. And the NLT said, up be gone. This is no longer your land and home, for you have filled it with sin and ruined it completely. This place is a den of wickedness. There's nothing good, man. Our source of income is a debt note to pay off debt for somebody else and add more debt to ourselves, man. Okay? Well, via through the credit system. So that means what for us? That we lock the fuck in, man. All right? So when you go to 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 4, it says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. And if a man striveth for masteries, yet is he not crowned except he strive lawfully. Okay, so let me get into the... Yeah, so there's in the NLT, we're just going to bounce back and forth in this lesson. It says, soldiers don't get tied up in the affairs of civilian life, right? A soldier is what? A champion. Champion is what? A person that gets the belt, right? Which makes you, in the concept of an athlete, you're striving for what? The finish, to win, okay? So no winner entangleth himself with the affairs of his life. Because guess what you're going to do? You're going to blame that. Anytime you fail, it's Babylon, it's the world, but you keep putting it, speaking from experience, I've put it on and packed it on, like, it's like reoccurring payments. That $10 Netflix ain't going, you ain't really worried about that. But then you got your ESPN and Disney Plus package, another $10, $12. Then you got your ebook. Then you got your your drinking habit or your eating habit, which becomes a reoccurring payment. And then next thing you know, you got $150, $200 tab monthly off of recreational things. And you become so comfortable in the recreation that you feel that you need them and you don't want to give them up. So now you're stuck in this recurring payment. So now every month, when you had enough to have $150 in your pocket, you added so many recurring payments that now you're stuck in this jam of living paycheck to paycheck and you can't make a single mistake, right? So that's the same thing. our currency within this gospel is our time, right? Or within the Most High, we're dealing with the Most High. So in that theory, those reoccurring payments becomes time. You go to work, okay, you got to do that. So reoccurring payment, you got to pay rent technically, like that type of deal. So you go to work, you got to do that. Then after that, you go to the gym. Then you got your woman, you got your kid, you got your favorite episode, got your, hobby, was jewelry making, games, TV. And next thing you know, you are tied up the whole day. Next thing you know, you got only a small window to read. Sure, you set time for you to read, but if you mess up that time, you don't have time for the rest of the day. And then you add so many recurring payments through time that now you focus on, I got to drive here, or I got to do this, or now you're not even thinking, upon the Lord or meditating upon him. Because, Salaki, I want to get this in the book of Sirach. Sirach 38:24 says, the wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that hath little business shall become wise. You see, so it's very important on how you divvy your time up. We have to, when it comes to the world, we have to live below our means. That's what I've learned, is that, yeah, I'm a man of the Lord. Yeah, I can do all this. I can handle it. But just like finances, it's smart to live below your means. So when it comes to truth and time, what is living below your means? Making sure that you're available more often than not. The best ability is availability. If you're not available, you're not reliable. If you're not reliable, you're not credible, right? So we're supposed to make our time, purposeful. Now, does that mean I'm just sitting down there and twiddling my thumbs? No, I'm doing something that I can just hop up and leave from. Okay, you can't just hop up and leave from work. You can't just hop up and leave from a relationship. Well, you could, but, for the most part, you in it serious, you can't just hop up in it. You got kids and family and shit like that. So you shouldn't be adding those type of reoccurring payments there through time. And when I say you, I mean me, I mean we. And like I said, I've learned this, and there was a point that I felt like me being busy is productive. But if you don't have purpose, you're just passing time. That's all you're doing. A man without purpose and a busy man without purpose just passes the time. That's all they do, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm digging a hole and I'm digging in that same direction, the hole's going to get deeper. But if I'm digging, one day I'm digging down, and then one day I'm digging over, then one day I'm digging west, and then one day I'm digging east, and then one day I'm digging at an angle. Well, that hole is going to get big, but it ain't going to get big in the right direction. All right? So we have to have, like it says, you strive for the master, you run for the race, run with a purpose. What is our purpose? Salvation. So everything should be connected to that. If you need a break, go get you a break. But that's exactly what it should be. A 30-minute break, an hour break. And get your ass back to what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, again, I tell myself the same thing. Get back to what you need to do. Be disciplined on what you really appreciate and have a love for what you need to do. Not what comforts you. Not what comforts myself. You know what I'm saying? Fall in love with productivity. Right? Fall in love with being the best product the Lord called you to be. I can call myself to be. When I say I'm supposed to know that means I need to go and study it, man. When I'm messing up or not making the right decision, I need to lock down and get disciplined and work on myself. And through the mercy of the Heavenly Father, He provides us with opportunity. But the pleasures of this world will tremendously slow you down. And going into Proverbs chapter 6:6, it says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest, how long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard, when thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little fold in the hands to sleep, so shalt thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. You know, so if you pretty much slack off, you're gonna build up shit. And it's just like the wise and foolish virgins. We have to get to it. We have to gather our oil up. Because it's gonna come a point you ain't gonna be able to go to the store and, it's the spiritual store, and just give me 5 on pump 8. Give me 100 on pump 8. You know, you're not gonna be able to do that. You know, we got to get it out the mud. That all this truth is meant to get for us to get out the mud. As I said, it's sweet, but it'll try you by crooked ways to prove you, which is wisdom. All right? And why not invest in something that's incorruptible, that can't be taken away? A stock that won't drop. All right? Matthew 13 and 18 says, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When one heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that what was sown in his heart. Right? So it's talking about the parable of the sower. So let's get to the point of it. In verse 22, it says, he also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. But he that receiveth seed on the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, and also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100-fold, and some 60, and some 30. So you're supposed to be increasing and being productive with the talent and the gift that the Lord has blessed you with. Very imperative, very important. You know, that's what we're here to do. You're a good speaker, you're supposed to cultivate that. You're a good reader, you're a good memory person, you're a good numbers guy, you're a good organizer, you're supposed to cultivate that. If you're the sound guy, you're the audio guy, you're the video guy, you're supposed to cultivate that. You're the leader, you're supposed to cultivate that. Such on and so forth, man. So going into 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and 23, it says, and this, I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker with you. Know ye not they that, Salakia, I had read that already. Why did I have that? Yeah, just had it twice, Salakia. So we're going to end it off with the last precept I have here. In Sirach chapter 43 and 30, it says, when ye glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. So get up early and go to sleep late in this truth. Don't sit there and say, well, I did my job. As the scriptures say, think not upon thy goods, and say, I have enough. Because when you don't have enough, you don't got time to get more, you ask the fuck out. That's just what it is. With that being said, I want to say, call Lord Yahbashim Al-Shah, Barakah Kadash, Yahbashim Al-Shah, Bashim Kadash, Shalom.